Good morning and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day. If someone were to call you empty-minded, would you be offended? I'll bet you would. I think I would too, because I know that it probably wouldn't have been intended to be a compliment. What if I told you that one of the primary goals in life should be to become empty-minded? Okay, so since you just furrowed your brow and squinted your eyes at whatever you're playing this podcast on, let me tell you why that should be. Where to start? Oh, yes, the beginning. We'll start at the beginning because that is the destination. And we'll talk about emptying your mind because that is how we manage to fill our lives with all kinds of blessings. Now, lest you think I've completely lost my empty mind, let me assure you that I am not crazy, and I also assure you that this spiritual discipline is thousands of years old. Lao Tzu wrote in the Tao Te Ching, "The Tao source of life is an empty vessel, vast within, vast without, possessed of transcendental space." In trying to think of an example for this concept and discipline that is completely foreign to our culture, I decided to just share an example. I've been asked how I think of the things I write. Literally, people ask how I come up with this stuff. I have to admit that I don't 100% come up with all that I write or talk about out of thin air. Some or a lot of it does come from there, but I also read and listen and I pay attention to what is around me. I tell people that I don't get writer's block because to me, writer's block is simply a circumstance of not having asked enough questions. Ask more questions, realization and inspiration comes, and writing resumes. But there is a higher dimension to what I do, and maybe you as a listener can pull this in and transform it to what works for you and makes sense to you. I don't get my best ideas from thinking really hard or amassing huge amounts of knowledge or keeping my mind incredibly busy. When I am besieged with tons of thoughts, I struggle. I have found that when I completely empty my mind and let any thoughts that start to develop just drain away without giving them energy, the universe blesses me with whatever I need to know at the time. It is a disciplined practice that doesn't happen in just 30 seconds. It's not like the old magic 8-ball where you ask a question, empty your mind, and an answer mysteriously just shows up. For me, it's more like zoning out, like when you look at one of those pieces of artwork of all the dots and squiggles and blur your vision to the point that a 3D image appears. Some people can never see them, other people see it right away. But sitting wherever you are comfortable and can allow as long as it takes, focus on a spot or on nothing at all, and let your mind blur your vision a little and think nothing of it. In fact, allow yourself to just think nothing. The emptiness in your mind that you allow to form becomes a state of receptivity that is magnetic to the creative power of the universe. In this state, I have received ideas for books, inspiration for dreams and goals, understanding of troubling situations, and clarity of my place in this universe and what I am here to do. The midst of that emptiness, my empty mind, has provided more fullness in my life than I could ever have developed by trying to develop fullness. I've used discipline to nurture emptiness, and thus the universe has gifted me with fullness. I invite you to work on becoming an empty vessel and embrace that transcendental space within. As you do, you will again know that all of creation is conspiring in your favor and that the universe always has your back. Empty mind, full life. Christian mystic Meister Eckhart wrote, "To be full of things is to be empty of God. To be empty of things is to be full of God." Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.